Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got another game between Stephano and EmpireKas. Obviously Millennium Stephano, the map is Shakura's Plateau, and it is sweet because these are two awesome players. If you've seen the other game I put up by them, then obviously you'll know that I think this could be a best of 3 or it could just be 2 random ladder matches. I genuinely don't know. That's because I'm possibly a bit incompetent and I've been really busy and haven't been keeping up with tournaments properly. However, it could of course just be that it's a random ladder game, in which case there's 2, which is awesome because they're cool players. So Kas is down here in the bottom right. He is the blue Terran. Stephano, red Zerg in the bottom left. As I said, map Shakura's Plateau, so nice and easy to hold, natural. The third a bit more awkward to take for the Zerg player because, well, they take this one generally, but it's quite a long way away and just awkward. Kas on the other hand, he's got super easy to take, natural. He'll then probably take this third because there's a couple of nice chokes. You can put tanks down here, defend your natural and your third. Everything's good and happy, and because they're close by, airdrops will probably come in here. I mean, a key thing you can do is you can drop some tanks down here, use medevacs to pick up marines, dart forward, dart back, dart forward, and you just make Zerg players cry. So, what else is going on? Well, since not much at the moment, I'll use this point to say, any comments, feedbacks, oh, something went wrong there, laggy. Yeah, any comments, feedbacks, compliments, criticisms, leave them in the comment box. I love the feedback, it helps me improve. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on Twitter, blah de blah de blah. Also, I've started doing the Antec Attack tournament on a Wednesday evening. It's, well, in the evening on a Wednesday in Greenwich Mean Time, so tune into that because it's pretty cool. And you should definitely come and watch it. I'm on D Esports stream of that, so do give it a check out. Now, we will see here Stephano, he's gone for a fairly standard timing of everything. Yet again, he's similar to the other match we saw. He's gone for this pull, then gas, so probably for an early speed. Meanwhile, we see Kas, he's just, well, going a bit more standard. He's got that one barracks up, he's just moving it out. Hasn't started in second command zone yet. It's got some gas coming out, so we'll probably see some reactor Hellion play. Or we could in theory see a Reaper, but you don't see that too often, which is a shame because I like Reapers. I think they're cool units. They're not that amazing. Well, they can be in the right hands, but obviously reactor Hellions are a bit more of a standard for a reason. Now, we will see Stephano, well, he's just got his pool up, so we'll then start the double queens as soon as that hatchery pops. We will see it almost instantly. There we go. So that's why you get the 15 hatch 16 pool, because then you can get the 2 queens up and link up the injects, which is nice. We will see Stephano getting close to that 100 gas. It'll be interesting to see whether he pulls guys out. There we will see the command end down for Kas. He's also getting up the factory, so reactor Hellions are a definite go at this point. There goes the reactor as well on the barracks. Now we will see here that there goes the metabolic boost upgrade, Zergling speed as it's more commonly known, and there are all the guys pulled out of the gas. So that just means that Stephano is now going to drone and be happy about it. He will also probably take a very quick third base, just because he can, and all he has to worry about are these Hellions, but that's not too much of an issue. This one Overlord is floating his way in. Now, there was a point when Hellions were just a nightmare for Zerg players to deal with, and they just didn't get used to it. It's sort of got to the point where they're used so often now that most Zerg players of any kind of caliber have got used to dealing with them. And I mean, the only downside is if you don't deal with them right, this spine in a great position, but if you don't deal with the reactor Hellions right, you can lose a lot of drones. And even the best case scenario is you lose map control, which is a nightmare for a Zerg player because you need the scouting information. And this is interesting, we've got the reactor Hellions into a third super quick command center, so we're going to see a 3-base Kas. He's going to use those reactor Hellions, as I said, to gain map control, and that will deny Stephano from taking his own third, which will mean that Kas will be a base up, which is happy times, because even being equal bases with the Zerg is good times, and being a base up is awesome times. Now here comes these Hellions. They're going to poke up, see a Spine Crawler and Queen and just be like, I'm not doing that, no way. Which is fairly normal. Here comes down a second Queen, so Stephano clearly slightly nervous, wants to push those Hellions back. He's got a lair on the way. He's also got good creep spread, which is essential. 2 more Hellions coming out, so that is very, very standard there on its own. 4 Hellions is an ideal number. Also just switch this back, so side tank production, we'll probably see Siege Mode come out shortly for Kas there. Stephano, meanwhile, he's getting up his 4th gas, he's got 3 already. For Kas, well, he's got 2, we will probably see the 3rd and 4th out soon, and to be honest, everything's going quite nicely here for Stephano. For Kas though, he's in a great spot, he's getting up his engineering bay to start upgrades, he's got that 3rd command center out, so even if he doesn't float it down yet, obviously it's more production, more mules when that orbital command does come in, and that just means better income. And if he matches Stephano on income, he's going to be happy. So yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on down here. Layer, of course, is finished. The Spire is on its way, just hidden down there, very, very sneakily. Make me tilt that camera wide, don't you, Stephano? But there is a Spire there. These head-ins just nicely spread out. Basically, as I said, what they're doing, map control. They're preventing creep spread going any further forward. They're denying that 3rd base, and generally, they're just being a bit of a pain for Stephano. But Stephano happy to sit on 2 bases. He can drone up quite nicely. He can tech up. He's got everything he needs. Getting a macro hatch as well, so can keep up production-wise, but again, not ideal because Stephano obviously needs to be a base up, and at the moment he's a base behind, or he will be once that's floated down. If we look at the work count though, still 39 to 53, so somehow Stephano just droning insanely like a complete badass. So what do we have for Kas? Well, he's got the +1 infantry weapons on the way. He's getting a 2nd Evo engineering bay for the double upgrades. Meanwhile, Stephano, he has got 1 evolution chamber up now. He has got that +1 carapace. His Spire has just finished. He's getting 7 mutas straight away. So, well, Stephano's plan is he's just going to fly over here and be like, well, contain me in my 2 bases, but I'm just going to come and kill you, which is a nice approach. I like it. There's no missile turrets up at all there for Kas, so that's going to be a bit of a pain. And a big flood of Zerglings coming out as well, so what I honestly predict happening is Stephano will fly over, draw Kas's attention, and then just run out and kill all these Hellions. Or he may just run out and kill them anyway, which is equally a good way about going about it. Gets 1 pretty much for free, a 2nd one with a great surround, and will he be able to pick up a 3rd? Well, he very well could do if Kas isn't careful, but he is lining them up there, and that is not a good thing to do, but it will force the head-ins all the way back, and does allow Stephano to get his 3rd and 4th base. The other thing is obviously double expanding if you are contained is a great move, especially if you just pushed back and taken all of the map control. Now, where are those mutas? They are doing a lot of damage down here. In come the Marines, streaming in, a couple of mules picked up. How many workers have been killed? Was 7, so that isn't actually too bad at all. It does nearly put him to a 10 worker advantage. Going to be a lot more than a 10 worker advantage though, because a wave of 12 drones are on their way out. These mutas are just joining. How many mutas have we even got? We've got 10 mutas now, and 2 more bases on the way out for Stephano. So Stephano with this very, very mobile Zergling muta army is, well, essentially in a great position to maintain the map control and now deny Kas his 3rd. Now, some of these tanks are in a bad position here. One could get picked off if he isn't careful. Those Marines are all clumped up. Now, the one thing missing from Stephano's play here is, well, a baiting list. I don't think there's one at all. And, well, Stephano does need to be careful here. He's going to pick off a couple of tech labs. Kas with a mass smiley face. Why not? I don't know if that tech lab was researching anything, but we will see here the these mutas are just going to be a nightmare for Kas to deal with. Stephano's in a great position, and as long as he keeps it up, he will be fine. A starport coming out though for Kas, and essentially all he needs is to get some medevacs up really quite urgently. Obviously Stephano, he's got his 3rd and 4th base up, he's got that macro hatch, but if Kas has managed to take down his 3rd, he's got these tanks in a nice position, he's getting missile turrets up everywhere and anywhere just to deal with that mutable, which is just ever increasing at 15 now, 3 more on the way, and these rocks are being taken out, so we could see Stephano try and take this base, or just do it to be irritating, which is fair enough. And really that missile turret, it's not too bad there. There's no upgrades on these tanks though, which of course means they will take 2 shots to kill the Zerglings because they are +1 armor. And we have got +1 attack coming in with +2 attack for those mutas, and really this is just all very nice play. The first medevacs still aren't out because the reactor only just coming down now on that starport. And Stephano is just going into absolute mass army production now. He's getting a 2nd macro hatch on the way. He's at 65 workers, so actually Kas is slightly ahead in the worker count at the moment, but that probably won't be for long, purely because this 3rd base could take a lot of damage if Kas isn't careful. It was quite a bold move getting that 3rd base quite so early, but it could be okay. We will see these mutas coming in though, and there's a big ball of mutas. Just look at how much damage they're doing. They picked off that missile turret ASAP, picking off a refinery now, and this is a nightmare. And look, more SCVs are going to go down, and there's only a couple of marines there. Those, well, no, they all clumped up, and there's a big Thor hit goes off there. Another huge Thor hit, and those missile turrets are cleaning it up. So that was a bit of a nightmare. That Thor hit did huge amounts, but 21 workers killed for Stephano there. And if we look here, it does just knock Kas back behind in the worker count. Those tank numbers are getting up higher though. Good tank spread as well, defending that natural and the third. Really, Stephano hasn't got too much to worry about though. He's just droning up. He's got 4 bases. To be honest, he's about to get his fifth. Thought he might have taken that one, but it makes more sense up here because he's then further away from Kas's army. He's got that +2 flyer attack on the way, +1 flyer armor coming out, so he's going to be going up to hive tech shortly. Just getting ready for that Broodlord. There's the infestation pit. He's got a second evolution chamber on the way. These mutas coming in again though. Where is the Thor? Where is that horrible Thor? The Thor is nowhere to be seen, and well, those missile turrets are just going to get one-shotted, which is a nightmare. All the add-ons are getting taken down. Meanwhile though, we have got Kas moving out with all of his army. That one Thor is going to deny the Mutalists from doing much, because unless they magic box, that would be a nightmare. But look at how much damage is being done to this mineral line. Meanwhile, we have got Kas, he's moving forward. He is just marching up towards the natural base. All of Stephano's key tech is out there, and if that goes out, that would be a nightmare. The tanks do get a good siege position. Meanwhile, these mutas, they are just demolishing Kas's production facilities, and switching straight back, we will see that Kas is just marching on forward. And if we take a look, still no Baneling nest, I don't think, anywhere for Stephano, so those marines are going to be a bit of a pain to deal with. In come all the Zerglings, the tanks were left on their own, and just look at them get absolutely demolished. So that is the tank support gone there. But we will see that the Spire, well, that's going down. Meanwhile, what the mutas done, they picked off the third base of Kas. They've just done a nightmare in the production, but the natural base for Stephano is down. One Spire is also dead. If he gets the other Spire in a great spot, they're actually going straight for that infestation pit. And now there are the mutas magic boxing perfectly, and this should actually get picked off now pretty damn easily, and it was cleaned up by Stephano. But meanwhile, there was a drop going down in the main, and this was just me not being able to be in 3 places at once. That's picked off the lair, and well, a lot more. It was the lair, I know just the lair was picked off, but still a nightmare. And Stephano is not now looking in such a great spot. I mean, but having said that, neither is Kas. He's lost his main base and his third base, so he's on 1 mining base. Meanwhile, Stephano does have 2 mining bases. 3 mining bases, sorry. This one is up and running, but he's got no tech at all. He needs to very badly tech up, and here we will see that there's a big retreat going on by Kas. He does not want those marines and medevacs going down, but likewise Stephano doesn't want to lose his mutas, because that would just be bad times. And just look how quickly mutalists evaporate. They are 3-2 marines, so they are pretty damn scary. And we will see here everything moving back, but here comes the mutas. They managed to get 1 medevac. Did they kill many marines in there? I'm not quite sure, but still, any marines and a medevac is just a really nice pick off. So Stephano must be happy there. Obviously, he has got pathogen glands out. He's getting 6 infestors at once, so infestorling muta is a nice little composition here. And Stephano is just very wise. He's picking off that sensor tower, picking off anything he can, but the tanks are in a good position there for Kas. And I mean, the only downside obviously is Kas is on 1 mining base compared to 3 of Stephano. And what is Stephano doing? Well, he's getting up lair somewhere. Where is it? There we go. So lair is on the way, and another evolution chamber, a spare spawning pool, because well, always good to have a spare spawning pool. We will see somewhere over here. I heard some mutas. Did I? No, I don't think I did. I'm imagining muta noises. That's always bad. Double Evo is up here, so upgrades can resume once more. Although you will see the problem that there's no lair, so 2-2 can't actually start yet, which is a pain for Stephano. And really, both players took pretty equal losses from their double exchange, so due to that, this game is pretty damn even still. I mean, the only advantage Stephano has is he does have 3 mining bases compared to what is now 2 of Kas. which isn't ideal. These mutas yet again, relentless harassment with these mutas, and the mutas just going straight for the missile charges do just melt them, because these mutas are of course 2-1. +2 flyer carapace is on the way. Those engineering bays are going down, but if I'm not mistaken, they are already, no, they are just 2-2. The engineering bay, which is actually researching, wasn't picked off though, and that means that those marines will be 3-3. And as a Zerg player myself, nothing is scarier than 3-3 marines, because they're crazy good against everything a Zerg has. So that's beside the point though. We will see here Hive is coming out, and that's actually pretty quick teching off from Stephano. He does have this spire still there, and I mean, the great thing he has done is, even though this hatchery's down, he's just left these overlords here to spread creep, which is exactly what he needed to do to prevent them dying, and that means that he can go straight up to Broodlord tech. He's got good flyer upgrades, he's getting those melee upgrades. There goes the greater spire, so he's going to be in a good spot, and these mutas are just relentless coming out. It's pointless picking off that engineering bay, Stephano. He's already at 3-3. Sorry for the misclick there. Now, really, what can he do? He's got to be, well, Kas, if he is very careful, he can do a lot of damage with that Thor and the Marines, and Stephano likewise just has to do perfect magic boxing. We will see here Kas floating down to take up what is his, would have been his 4th base, but is now his 3rd base, and that's why I hate when players lose their bases in weird orders, because then it's like, is this a 4th base or is it a 3rd base now? Who cares? Anyway, it will just mean that obviously Kas is getting back into this economically somewhat, but Stephano, he has got this base up, he has got his main back up, and he's just in a good spot. Meanwhile, we have got these mutas just going absolutely to town on all of Kas's production, but meanwhile we will see that Kas is just yet again going for the approach of, well, I can kill you quicker with my army than you can kill me with mutalisks, which is good, but the downside is you can also lose a lot of SCVs with that approach. And if we just take a look at the workers' loss count, well, 53 to 30, a couple of those mutas are getting picked off, and now we will start seeing the initial spine crawler wall forming, because it's not Infestor Broodlord, it's Infestor Broodlord Spine. The spines are essential. A great little trick there. Some burrowed infestors lobbing out some infested talons. A couple of tanks will go down, but the marines do clean it up, because 3-3 marines are awesome. I mentioned that earlier. And I only mean that half sarcastically. They are crazy good. But then any 3-3 unit is really good. We will see the adrenal glands upgrade coming down. 3-3 melee and ground armor for Zerg isn't on the way yet. That's purely because Stephano is using up all of his gas very effectively on these Broodlords. What is the Broodlord count? Well, it's 6 with 9 infestors, so that on its own is a pretty scary army, but there is this sense tower here, which means that, well, Kas can see everything, but here comes in the Broodlords. They are just going to go down there and just starting to damage. The Broodlords, of course, on their own are 2-1 upgrades. The Broodlings are 2-2, so they are pretty nasty, and it's delayed mining time by pulling these SCVs to repair. And here comes some more big damage, but it does actually look like the Broodlords are out damaging the repair. They were for a split second. And what is Kas going to do? Well, he's got to be careful. He doesn't want those tanks sieged up, because otherwise, when the Broodlings come in, they'll do big damage. Thors do not engage well against Broodlords, because Broodlords are armoured, not light, and massive fungal growth go off there for Stephano, and he's just crushing Kas's army, and those are GG. Kas had a bad engagement. Those infestors got brilliant fungal growths, and that is it. So I hope you did enjoy the game. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on Twitter, yada yada, leave comments and criticisms, compliments, whatever, in the comment box, and most importantly, tune in again. Thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.